The second constitution was the 1932 constitution, the first Republican constitution. The third constitution was the 1978 constitution, the second Republican constitution. These latter two constitutions were enacted by the party and the government in power and not on the basis of a consensus. The current process is based on a resolution of Parliament. Parliament has been converted into a constitutional assembly. There is a committee of the whole Parliament. There is a steering committee comprising of members of Parliament of all political parties. There have been 6 multi-party subcommittees appointed, which have submitted their reports. A team of experts have assisted the process. There have been public consultations and public representations have been received. All this is taking place. There is a marked difference between the procedures being adopted now and the procedures that prevailed when the 1972 and 78 constitutions were enacted. All this takes place almost 40 years after the enactment of the second Republican Constitution. And all these steps, I submit, sir, add to the credibility and the legitimacy of the process. After wide consultation and consensus, the Constitution will have to be enacted and adopted by a 2/3 majority of Parliament and approved by the people at a referendum. It will reflect the exercise of the sovereignty of the people, by the people, to the fullest degree. The supreme law of the land would have been made by the people and would command the respect and recognition of all the people. Its credibility and legitimacy shall be unassailable. All others, whether it be the President, the Prime Minister, the Parliament, the judiciary, the provincial councils, the local government institutions, are only organs of government, custodians for the time being of the power of the people, exercising power on behalf of the people in terms of the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land enacted by the people. The sovereignty of the people would have been exercised so comprehensively that no question can be asked pertaining to the impairment of the sovereignty of the people. All the people would be involved. It's for the first time in the history of the country that such an exercise is being undertaken. The totality of the people being involved. The Constitution, the supreme law of the country, will be framed so as to ensure and guarantee an undivided and indivisible Sri Lanka belonging to all the people of Sri Lanka. The Constitution is being made to ensure that the country remains undivided and indivisible for all time, and that the country proceeds on a path of development and progress. The objective of the Constitution is to create a peaceful and prosperous Sri Lanka so as to achieve its fullest potential for the benefit of all the people in the country. The reasons for this occurrence are the lessons that we have learned in the past 70 years. We have seen the devastation and destruction the country has gone through during the war that lasted 30 years. Government resources were extensively expended in fighting the war. The country was starved of resources for economic development. Consequently, the people were unable to be the beneficiaries of their true entitlements. The country had realized that for it to survive, and progress and maintain its status in the world, it needs to unite, to come together on the basis of equality and justice. Anyone attempting to disturb the process would do great harm to the country. Such people would be acting not in the national interest, but to advance their own personal political future on sectarian and narrow grounds. Sri Lanka is a multi-ethnic, multilingual, plural society. The proposals envisage that democracy and the franchise coexist in harmony without distortion, and that pluralism receives meaningful respect and recognition. Democracy and pluralism, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, are inextricably interlinked and must be so structured as to strengthen each other, so as to ensure justice and equality. This strengthens and consolidates an undivided and indivisible Sri Lanka. That is the foundation of the whole exercise. This is a prerequisite to sustainable peace, development and progress. Under the scheme of power sharing, there will be power exercised at 3 levels. 1, the national level. 2, the provincial level. 3, the local level. The subjects and functions assigned to the 3 levels would be unambiguously and clearly defined on a rational basis. Legislative and executive power shall be exercised in their respective spheres of competence at the different levels. This arrangement will prevail throughout the country. Constitutional provisions will ensure that devolved power is not undermined or taken back. If for any reason such a step becomes necessary, it can only be for very special reasons and in terms of specific constitutional provisions in that regard. This will ensure that the sharing of power is durable and also genuine. Such arrangements will be applicable throughout the country. This is to ensure, sir, that governance is in keeping with the tenets of democracy, that there is recognition of diversity in unity, that there will be easy access to governance, that governance will be transparent, that there will be ready accountability in governance, that there will be greater people's participation in governance, that governance is consequently more effective and expeditious, and that governance is also consequently less corrupt. There would be contentment and satisfaction amongst all people in all areas. This would contribute to unity in diversity and national cohesion and integration. The 13th Amendment, sir, was the first step in power sharing through constitutional provision. The genesis of the 13th Amendment were extensive discussions between the government of Sri Lanka, headed by President J.R. Jayawardena, and the Tamil United Liberation Front, led by Mr. A. Amarthalingam, in July and August 1986. Our Prime Minister was a member of the government delegation, It was my privilege to be a member of the Tamil delegation. In fact, there are only two members of parliament who are alive on the government side, Honorable Prime Minister and Mr. Ronnie DeMel, and there are only two persons alive on the Tamil side, myself and Mr. B. Anand Sangari. President J.R. Jayawardena tabled in Parliament the proposals of the government based on those discussions in February 1987. There is a belief in this country that the 13th Amendment was imposed on Sri Lanka after the enactment, after the Indo-Sri Lanka Agreement was signed in July 1987. I want to specifically state that President Jayawardena tabled the proposals outlining the 13th Amendment in Parliament in February 1987, and those proposals were based on discussions that took place between the government and the TULF in July and August 1986. The 13th Amendment was a significant beginning, but inadequate. It is recognized by all subsequent governments and subsequent presidents. President R. Premadasa, who succeeded President Jayawardena, President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, who assumed office after President Premadasa, and President Mahinda Rajapaksa, who succeeded President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga. During President Premadasa's time, there were the Mangalamuna Singh and Select Committee proposals. During President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga's time, there was a 2000 August constitutional bill tabled in Parliament with cabinet approval, without any dissent whatever, which cabinet also included former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and present President Maithripala Sirisena. During President Mahinda Rajapaksa's term, there was a remarkable and meaningful speech made by President Rajapaksa on 11th of July 2006 at the inaugural meeting of the APRC, the All-Party Representative Committee, and the Multi-Ethnic Experts Committee appointed by him. The majority report of the said Multi-Ethnic Experts Committee and the report of the APRC, headed by Professor Savitana, all of which under all three presidents and governments contained proposals for sharing power that went far beyond the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, and all of which were based on a substantial consensus between representatives of different political parties. They were all domestic and homegrown processes based upon a wealth of experience of local conditions. There were no slogans, but there was substance. It would be perhaps pertinent to clarify what exactly the position of President Rajapaksa was during these periods. I would like to quote from the speech made by President Rajapaksa when he addressed the APRC and the Multi-Ethnic Experts Committee on the 11th of July 2006. He addressed that committee under three subparagraphs. The first was unity, territorial integrity and sovereignty. And this is what President Rajapaksa said in the course of the address. The unity, territorial integrity and sovereignty of our country must be preserved. They cannot be open to bargain. Our approach has been widely endorsed by the international community. Notably, India and the co-chairs have clearly stated and have clearly ruled out any form of division of this country. Our objective must be to develop a just settlement within an undivided Sri Lanka.